How's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to be installing Huntertuned decapped E85 injectors. They flow around a 1000cc comparable injector. They're basically GM flex fuel LS injectors. He just takes the ends off of the injector and he tests them and flow matches for sets. So basically what you get when you order these from Huntertuned are these injectors right here. They're from a Chevy LS engine that is flex fuel engine. I can't recall the year, but he decaps them. Basically takes there's like a cap that goes on the end of these. He takes them off, then he tests them and flow matches them to so you can pair them all up into a set. He also sends you pigtails to install them. Sometimes you might not get these pigtails because it might be out of stock, but it's not a big deal. You can easily just go to your junkyard and grab some, or just email him like I did, and he'll just send you a set of brand new ones or used ones, whichever, as long as they'll still work if they're used. Fortunately, I got brand new ones from him, which I really appreciate. Thank you. Just to do a size comparison, right here is the LS injector. Here is a DSM 450 injector. As you can see, the DSM is taller. DSM is around the same height as a regular Honda one, just fatter. So yeah, as you can see, they are a little shorter. So in turn, you got to either adjust your fuel rail by modifying or spacing it accordingly. It's going to change when you're doing a B series or D series, or even what fuel rail you're running. I recommend buying these caps. He has them on sale for sale on his website. I think they're $10 for a set of 4. I just bought these off of eBay. I think they were the same price, same thing, around $10 for a set of 4. I highly recommend getting them. So all they do is go right on top of your injector. Gotta grease it up a little bit. You always want to use a little dab of grease on all your O-rings when you're playing with injectors. Alright, I got one cap on. You definitely want to grease these O-rings that come on them. It is super tight. Definitely not going to leak. But yeah, they do go on. You really need to. It's tight. Alright, so I got the top hats all on. When you put these top hats on, like I said, they're very tight. Sometimes you have to start with one end, kind of spin it, and eventually it will just pop right on. Just make sure you push them down all the way. Make sure they're down all the way, because you can have it slightly up, not bottomed out, and not realize it. So just push them all the way down. So yeah, next step is I'm going to pull the old injectors out and get ready to put these in. I'm not sure exactly what bottom seal I'm going to be using. I do have an extra set. I believe these here. I don't think that's right. Well, that might work. I gotta pull the other ones out. These might be the good bottom ones. I'm not sure exactly what these are for. I know they're for ejectors. I'm not sure if they're for the bottom. Doesn't look like they're too small. But yeah, I'm gonna pull the old ones out and we're gonna do some pairing. here are the injectors I pulled out of the car. I was running, these are 750cc Smart Fire injectors. Cheap eBay crap. That's why I think I might be having a misfire from these injectors. Now when it comes down to the bottom seal, this grommet here, I'm sure, I think this is the same size as OEM. I could be wrong, but this is the one that came with the Edelbrock intake manifold, or you can use the OEM one. And basically this O-ring on your old injector, or in my case my injector, I'll be popping off and putting on the bottom here of the injector, this right in this spot right here. Put it on there, so when this is in place in the car, this won't expand or anything. It actually shrinks in diameter a little bit. It'll make it nice and snug fit right in there. Then it'll be all sealed. So I'm going to put these in with the fuel rail. You always want to make sure you grease your O-rings, top and bottom. I'm going to start with put the top into the fuel rail first, so they're all lined up. Then I'm going to drop them into the car, or into the intake manifold. Alright, put these Huntertuned injectors. I was trying a few different things. First I tried to use this O-ring right here, to put that on the bottom of this O-ring, or this injector right down here, so when it went down inside the intake manifold, this would squeeze against the rubber grommet in the intake manifold. The problem with that, it was kicking, and it just didn't look like it was going to have a good seal. So I got these ones for here. They are slightly larger diameter and they're thicker. They're also rubber. I'm going to try those. Another problem I ran into was my height. Running these top hats, it was too high. I had way too much yet to go to scrunch it all down. And another problem I ran into, the O-ring that came with these on the top, they fit snug inside the fuel rail, but they weren't real tight. So I just pulled the ones I had off my original injectors, and I'm going to double them up like that. Smaller one on the bottom, big one on top, and it's nice and tight going into the fuel rail now. So I'm going to put this one on the bottom and see if that works. I don't see why it wouldn't. For some reason I thought that the O-ring was sealing. I thought it was going to get sealed on this O-ring for I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought the sealing was done here, but it's not. It's actually done on this right here, on this part. And obviously this diameter is way bigger than the decapped injectors. So pull these off. Another thing, these come with a screen inside. I don't know if you can see that. There's a screen inside here. Plus there's a screen inside the injector, so it'd be better off if I just run one screen, really. So now I'm going to put the thin one on first. You definitely need to double them up because the gap will have too much play. It would never, once you put it in the fuel rail, this O-ring is going to go down and it'll never seal. So you want to take up that gap. Alright. Sure they're nice and lubed. Let's see if how well that works. Oh yeah, that seems a lot better. Set them up. Now yeah, you can wiggle them around a little bit. I'm just centering them on the grommet that's on intake manifold. So it'll be rubber on rubber no matter what when I tighten it down. I got it this far. I'm going to cycle the key, see if I have any leaks on the fuel rail side. No leaks. Okay, next is I'm going to wire in the pigtails for their injectors. I'm going to try to snip, well, I've got plenty of these plugs. I'm just going to snip it right wherever so I have a nice good lead. I don't have to tap into undo my looming or anything. So I'm going to pull back the sheath and clip it close to the plug. Now when doing this, you want to make sure you do one at a time, and the injector, there's going to be two wires, a red and black and a colored wire. Now it goes yellow, blue, red, brown. Now you can solder the pigtail to either one. You just got to make sure you got yellow going to this one, blue, red, brown. Then if not, you'll screw up your injector firing order, and that won't be good. Alright, so I'm going to do one at a time. Oh, just so you know, this is a Honda CRX DX. It originally just had a multi-point fuel injection conversion, done many years ago, and it was just really hacked up, and I didn't like it, so I pulled out all the wiring and I replaced it with CRX SI wiring. So these are the correct order: yellow, blue, red, brown. Alright, I got all the wires heat shrink or soldered together, heat shrinked. Now I'm going to go in and take electrical tape, wrap electrical tape around each one. And the reason I'm doing that, sometimes you get a little spur that'll pop out of the heat shrink. You don't want that. So electrical tape will just cover that up and make sure that doesn't no contact with anything. Then I'm going to plug them in. I'm going to leave it all loose like this for fire up. Then it's going. I could make these shorter, but I'm going to do a wire tuck, so I'm going to want a longer lead. So I'm going to put electrical tape on each heat shrink section, Then all I gotta do is plug in back in the harness back into this side, which I am not going to be plugging in the green one. That's where I'm going to plug in the plug I got from eBay that basically joins all these wires together. All this is ground. Alright, we got all the fuel injector pigtails in, soldered, hooked up to each fuel injector. I gotta put the breathers back on. I also reconnected. This is what I'm talking about. This eliminates this box. Connect that back up. Connect this plug back to it. And there's also, I think, the air temp. This one's a sensor back here that I had to plug back in also. Now I'm going to tighten up the AM fittings, go into Honda, change my fuel injector size, and give it a start, see what happens. Alright, YouTube, in the CRX, got everything under the hood all buttoned up. Got the good old Honda pulled up here on a lappity-toppity. And according to Huntertuned, you just have to select the Injector Dynamics 1000cc injectors, which I already did. Something not right. There we go. And upload. And let's check her out. Turn it off. Let her prime. Ah, beautiful. So much better. Of course they're gonna need tweaking. But man, that thing's fired right up. See if we got any leaks. I'm impressed. Thing sounds like it's running pretty good, actually. Alright guys, so all I did literally was go into Honda. All I did was go into Honda and I selected the Injector Dynamics 1000cc injectors. Then I don't want to do that. I already did it. Okay. And I readjusted my timing because of those other injectors. My throttle stop was screwed up a little bit to get the car to idle, and I set 16 degrees there, and that was evidently completely wrong because those injectors suck ass. So I backed the screw down until the car was about to completely stall out, and give it just a little smidge on it, which is perfect. Can't complain about that. And she's idling perfect. You know, can't really ask too much for that. 12.5 for idling without just selecting that one parameter and uploading it. Hell yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend those injectors. Huntertuned.com, that's where you go get them. These are the 1000cc E85 decapped injectors. Like I said, he flow tests them and he flow matches them, then he sends them out. They're real easy to install. I just highly recommend them if you're looking for a cheap injector. That seems to be really reliable. I mean, damn. They're going to need a little tweaking here and there, but that's why I have a tuner. He'll take care of all that. But this looks like it'll get me to him. So, yeah, highly recommend them. Check them out, Huntertuned.com. Another thing I wanted to show was on idle in Honda. My IAC is completely off, and it's not surging or anything. Those other injectors, I had to have it in normal, and it would idle somewhat decent. If I go up any higher than that, it would just start getting choppy. But it's completely off, and it's smooth like butter. Hell yeah. That finishes up the install on the Huntertuned decapped injectors. They worked out great. If you like what you see and it was helpful, please like and subscribe. More people like my videos and subscribe, the more and more I'm going to want to make some videos. Heck, you can thumbs down and I don't care. It'll make me do some more videos. But till next time, everyone have a good day, have a good night, take it easy.